Hello everyone. Today let us continue with our previous topic where we have already discussed about the two-dimensional system. We understood about the quasi-two-dimensional electrons as well as the inversion layer using metal oxide semiconductor capacitor as well as FET, that is field emission transistor. So today let us go in detail where we are going to study about the wave function, the energy eigenvalues as well as the density of states for quasi two-dimensional electrons. So here we are going to use the triangular potential wave approximation. That is, for a MOSFET, triangular potential wave approximation can be used to represent the potential energy of these electrons, that is quasi two-dimensional electrons, and it is defined as V of z is equals to E into F into Z when z is greater than 0, or V of z will be equal to infinity if z is equal or less than 0. So here the triangular well consists of a potential with a constant slope that is bound at one side of the infinite barrier. So if your z is less than 0 or equal to 0, then we will be having a infinite barrier. That's why V of z will be equal to infinity. But if z is greater than 0, then we have a linear potential where V of z will be equal to E into F into Z, where E is nothing but the charge, whereas electric field is F, and the product of E into F is assumed to be positive. So here we have capital F is equals to 4 pi into N depletion plus F into Ns into E by Ks, where N depletion represents the charge concentration, Ks represents the static dielectric constant, Ns represents the electron concentration in the inversion layer, that is quasi two-dimensional electron concentration, and small f is the numerical coefficient. So based on this numerical coefficient we say two things. So if f is equals to 1, then this gives the field at the interface, and if f is equals to half, then it gives the average field in the inversion layer. So these two parameters are important to remember. Then coming to the next part. So since the potential energy is taken to be a function of z only here, we have not considered x but we have considered z coordinate. So the electron wave function, which I am going to denote as xi nk of r comma z, can be written as the product of three parameters. So one is the Bloch function, which is represented as u of r comma z, and next is a z dependent factor, that is z n of z, and the third one is the plane wave factor representing free motion of electron in xy plane. So remember, the electron, which is having the nature of two-dimensional motion, that is it is restricted to move along one direction. So along z direction the electron cannot move, whereas it is free to move along x and y plane. That's why we are having that term r comma z. It means that degrees of freedom is curtailed for the electron to move in z direction. So this is how we represent the electron wave function. So here r and k perpendicular are the position vector, means r is a position vector where k perpendicular is the wave vector in xy plane. So r will be having the coordinates of x and y, because it is position vector, means it is going to give the direction or with respect to the movement of the electron, and movement will be only along x and y direction. That's why r is a function of x and y, whereas z n of z is the solution of the Schrodinger equation, which is nothing but minus h cross square divided by 2mz. It is m subscript z into d square by dz square of zn of z plus en minus v of z into zn of z equal to 0. So this is the Schrodinger equation and zn of z will be the solution for this. And if you just consider n is large, then we can define En. So En is nothing but the energy eigenvalue. So here mz, what we represent is the effective mass of electron which is perpendicular to the interface, and En is approximately equal to cube root of h cross by 2mz into 3 pi EF by 2 into n plus 3 by 4 whole raised to 2 by 3. So here n value takes whole numbers, that is n will be equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 so on. And in order to make calculations of the properties of the inversion layers much more convenient or approximate solutions have been widely used. So here in each subband the motion of the carriers is free only in xy plane, but it is restricted along z axis and perpendicular to the direction of quantization, means z axis is perpendicular to xy plane and we say it is with respect to quantization. So the energy eigenvalues associated with the wave function xi n k of r comma z is given as E n k perpendicular is equals to En plus h cross square k perpendicular square divided by 2m star. So here the second term is nothing but energy with respect to perpendicular factor of the wave vector. So here again we need to remember is that n is running from 0 up to n, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 so on, natural numbers plus 0. So here m star is the effective mass along the xy plane, that is effective mass of quasi two-dimensional electron, and k perpendicular square is equal to kx square plus ky square. So we are just representing k perpendicular as the resultant of the wave vector along xy plane. Then after understanding about the energy eigenvalues as well as the wave function, finally let us study about the density of states. So the density of states function per unit area per spin for a pure two-dimensional electron gas system which is having the dispersion relation Ek perpendicular is equals to h cross square k perpendicular square by 2m star can be expressed as rho of E of two-dimensional system is equals to m star by 2 pi h cross square. So what is the conclusion out of it? So here this is representing the density of states function, and we see that in the RHS part we are not having any term which is depending on energy. So m star divided by 2 pi h cross square. So here there is no term which is relating to energy, that's why we say for a two-dimensional system density of states is constant and it is independent of energy. But if you consider quasi two-dimensional system, then the density of states per unit area per spin is given as rho q2d of E, that is quasi two-dimensional. The density of states will be equal to summation running over n as well as k perpendicular of delta of E minus En k perpendicular. So what does it mean? So this is equal to m star by 2 pi h cross square into summation over n theta of E minus En. So here in quasi two-dimensional system, we are having a term which is the function theta of x or theta of E minus En, E subscript n. So here theta of x will be equal to 0 for x less than 0, or it will be equal to 1 when x is greater than or equal to 0, and this theta of x is the step function and the summation runs over the bound states n. So based on this, we can just plot the graph for density of states for two-dimensional system, quasi two-dimensional system as a function of energy. So in two-dimensional system, we can observe rho, which is denoting density of states, is equals to m star by 2 pi h cross square, whereas in quasi two-dimensional system, we are having a step function, that is theta of E minus E subscript n, where we are going to see theta of E minus En is going to be either 0 or 1 with respect to the x value, that is E minus En value. So let us plot the graph of density of states as a function of energy. So already in our first video we have seen that for bulk semiconductors, that is for three-dimensional system, we have the nature something like this, that is looking like a half parabola. And for two-dimensional system, we already saw the value of density of states is equals to m star by 2 pi h cross square. So it is going to remain constant. So it is denoted as a straight line parallel to the x-axis. That is, even if the energy is going on increasing, the density of states will remain constant of energy. Then coming to quasi two-dimensional system, we have the step function here, due to which the nature of graph for density of states as a function of energy will be showing step-like nature, where each step will be at each energy. So the step-like density of states jumps are going to occur at the energies corresponding to the subband energies, and a quasi two-dimensional system is truly two-dimensional when one deals only with one electric subband. If you only consider one electric subband of quasi two-dimensional system, then it is something like two-dimensional system itself. So in that case, the system is going to lose gradually its two-dimensional features. So this is how, based on the step function, we can denote the density of states for quasi two-dimensional electrons. So one thing just you need to remember is that with respect to subband energies, you can observe the jump in the step. Otherwise, it is going to be constant. That is either 0 or 1 depending on the value of E minus En. So this is for today's class, where we discussed about the wave function, energy eigenvalue, as well as the density of states. Again, we compared it with the bulk system, as well as we studied the nature for two-dimensional as well as quasi two-dimensional electrons. So this is for today's class, and in our next class we will be dealing with modulation doping method. Till then, study well. Thank you.